And
Mhm.
that's an addiction. People don't realize that, but that's an addiction. Drug dealing is addiction just as well as using drugs. It's a double-edged sword. Both of you and the user are impaled on this sword, and you don't even know. That's why people go back to selling drugs so much. And you can
Mhm.
say to yourself, "I'm not going back. I'm not." You might got brothers. I'm not going to do it no more. Not gonna, and they end up doing it again because it's an addiction. And then
Mhm.
we don't treat that. We don't even acknowledge that. We don't acknowledge that it's an addiction. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's why to combat that addiction, you need options, and that's what I came up
Mhm.
with. I needed options. I knew when I got out, I needed options. That's why when I was in there, I learned how to be a personal trainer. I got my certification. I said that's going to be my base. I wrote those books, and I wrote other business plans that I wanted to do. I gave myself options, so when I came out here, I wouldn't have to look to sell drugs to make it no more. I don't never
Mhm.
want to sell drugs because now I know that it wasn't right anyway, not because of the law. It's just not morally right. And that's
Mhm.
why I kept having to get caught in different situations to show
Mhm.
it's not morally right.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, well, Jamar, we're gonna pause. Are you ready to be in the spotlight? Are you ready to share your story with the world? Well, Snails with No Shells is where you need to be. Available on all digital platforms, Facebook, and YouTube. Snails with No Shells. Leave that shell at the door. Where did we go wrong? We were doing so well. All right. So you get out of jail and you got a plan. You got a plan how you gonna move this time. I mean, you moved to California. You said God told you to move to California.
Yeah, God said go west. He said that's where the believers. I didn't want to go back home because of the perception like you have to carry, especially if you use a D boy or whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
got to show that you ain't, you got to go out there and have that energy that you left with, and you're not gonna settle for little jobs. And I've been through that route. I know that's one of my bad traits, so I had to combat it.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I go out there, I know I'm not gonna work no warehouse job. And the opportunities in Chicago is like the weather. It ain't that much. It's bad
Mm-hmm.
like the weather. And for the cost of living doesn't match the opportunity. I knew
Mm-hmm.
that. So I'm like, it doesn't add up. I'm gonna go out west. All I had out west was my auntie. She lived out here in Fontana. They sent me to a halfway house and they chose Garden Grove, which is in Orange County. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
nobody out here. My auntie was maybe an hour away,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like it was the best place for me to come. Orange County, where the sun is shining, like that's inspiration every day. And when I got here, I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I was on the bus, like, and it was like, okay. And so I landed in Anaheim and started working at 24-hour fitness. It took me about a week to get a job, like right in the halfway house.
Mm-hmm.
I hired at 24-hour fitness, like by 3 different companies just by walking in there. Because I had been working out for like 15 years anyway. So I started working there and everything took off from there. And I was like, I've been pushing to get my books published, which I done myself. I had
Mhm.
to take them from hard copy and put them on the computer, which is a tough job. Like I had to do all type of editing, and
Mhm.
I had to balance that with reality because California is expensive. It's no,
Yeah.
it's no joke out here. Like, but the opportunity is out here. That
Mhm.
the opportunity is bigger than the cost of living to me. If
Mhm.
you can get out here and sell hot dogs and make 100,000 a year, like, it's just that.
Wow.
It's just you just got to go though. You can't get caught up in it because these bills come quick. You know,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
cost of living will cave you if you're not out here. If you
Mhm.
can't stay ahead of the curve, but it's the opportunity is out here, and I know it. I mean, I guess that's why the gold rush is out here, and everybody runs to Hollywood. I mean, it's a bunch of reasons why California has an attraction,
Mhm.
and I don't, I can't really point it out, but I know the weather is beautiful. Like the sun is always shining. That's like inspiration, and that will get you energy going all the time. Like in Chicago,
Mhm.
it's snow, you don't want to get out the bed, or Georgia might be raining, it's like or whatever, it might be too hot. But here, the sun is always shining. It's always this inspiration to get you up out the house and not be in no bad mood, and that's a great thing to have every day. And the sights, like you can do a 360. You can see the beaches, the mountains, the desert. You can see it all by just doing the 360. Like in California, like the spot is amazing.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be cost this much, but it's amazing. You know,
Right.
especially for a creative person, that's what makes it really amazing.
Yes. And okay, and now I'm gonna come right behind you with the creativity piece. Okay, let's get into it. Jamar is a author, and Jamar has five published books.
Correct.
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 Okay, and so yeah, let's talk about your books. What are the titles of the five books?
Well, the book I'm really marketing now is called Black Ballerina.
Okay.
It's a part one and a part two to that book.
Okay.
It's basically a love story. The idea of the book came to me from somebody who walked up to me because I wrote, like, you write books, he jigging with me. He's like, man, you should write a story about identity theft. I said, okay. And then I turned my head, and in the TV room, they was watching a reality TV show, like Kim Kardashian type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I'm gonna take that, use that identity theft, that reality show, and I want to make a love story. So I got to use those three elements to make a story, and that's how I created Black Ballerina, which is a love story with a few twists, but it's a love story between Tyrone and Keisha. They grew up in a foster home where they found their love for each other by um, depending on each other. Keisha is more of a street person, and Ty is more of he just wants to play basketball. He's a good guy, so it's a reversal of roles. And Keisha is in jail at the moment, and Ty is out, so it's a different. Like I said, it's a different role. And
Yeah.
she meets a new cellmate, and she's in jail. Keisha's in jail for identity theft.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a new cellmate, and this new cellmate is a socialite, a rich girl who's don't has no talent but does dumb stuff and has a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
They become friends, and they try to use each other for different reasons. So they, so that's what the story is kind of based on, a love story with a twist to it, and those are the elements. And that's is Black Ballerina 1 and 2. And then I have a book called Ava Song, which is a feel good story. It's about a little girl in the neighborhood with a pet frog named Mr. Pickles. And they go around kind of lifting people up.
Mm-hmm.
And she sings and she plays tricks. And at the same time, the frog doesn't speak, but she be like, Mr. Pickles says this. She speaks for him. And when she
Mm-hmm.
speaks, it's kind of like a lecture. Like
Mm-hmm.
she might lecture a drug dealer. She might lecture somebody who has a business in the community. She might the preacher. She'd be like, Mr. Pickle says this, and it sounds so intelligent. You'd be wondering, does it really come from the frog? And
Mm-hmm.
she's so cute. So it's a good story. It's a feel good story. It's something different. And then my other book is a zombie book. Like it's Hell's Night. That's my imagination. That's what I like to push my imagination. And
Mm-hmm.
when I write, like I write movie. I really write movies. So the book writing is just a doorstep to making movies. So I have those books out, and they all different. Yeah.
Wow, I love what? We got the zombies, the little girl, and the boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, they all different
Love
stories. So I try to
romance,
write it. Yeah,
childlike, and kind of. Are you? What about? Are you into sci-fi? Is
yeah,
that?
I write it all. That's what I really want to touch. I mean, you don't see many people like from my culture or from my upbringing that would like to write and dabble in that. And I definitely want to open it up because I know we find it entertaining. We just don't see us in it, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely a bigger lane in that, you know. And yeah, I definitely that's the lane I want to be in. But I can write it from all different angles. So
I love that. Oh my gosh, that is so dope.
I wrote 10 books while I was in jail. So
Oh my gosh,
they
10?
all different. Yeah, they all different. They all in boxes. I'm packing them out. I'm getting to them. You know,
Mhm.
I got one right now. Write my life story. Like it's called Revolving Doors. It's really not my life story. It's basically my last day in jail, and I'm taking you through my emotions, everything I had to do before they released me, and it's
Mhm.
just telling you my mind state. I am and talking about the system, my mind state, and a little flashback on my younger self, you know, just to tie it all in. It's called Revolving Doors because, you know, they call it Revolving Doors because we always keep coming back. So it's Revolving Doors, and then at the end, it's Evolving Doors. So we instead of be in there being bitter, you should become better. And that's the point. And that's my next book that I'm writing or finishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm at.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Wow. Just a kid from the streets of Chicago. Look at this. Look what God has blessed this man with that beautiful mind. I love it. I love it.
Just paying attention.
I love that. Love it. Wow. So okay, and Jamar, let's quickly touch on your brand. You have a brand,
Yeah,
Jamar 926,
26.
like 926, like it's the time on the clock. Yeah, can you expound on that a little more?
Oh, you know, it's my birthday, so that's my time. You know, so I write it like as you see a time 9:26. You know how we say we all see numbers. You see the 11:11, the 12:12.
Oh,
So
you see those numbers? We
yeah,
didn't talk about that.
yeah, you definitely see them when you know you're on the right path. So
Oh, because everybody don't see the numbers, Jamar.
oh,
Hold
they see them, they just not paying attention to them. So that's my number. Like when you see 11:11 or one of those numbers, when I see 9:26, they tell me pay attention. When that
How did
clock
you
says
know I saw those
9:26.
numbers? How did you know I saw? How did you know I saw those numbers?
I think we touched. I don't know. People see them. I mean, it's either when you want to pay attention to them or not. Even people who not really even attuned with it, just to know, like they go 11:11 or 12:12 or whatever it may be. But like I said, that's how I tie it in. 9:26, I see it as a time, and when I see that 9:26 a.m. or 9:26 p.m., it's just that's my brand, that's my time. Uh, Everything is up under that. I'm not just trying to be here as a writer. I want to
Hmm.
make movies. I want to be a speaker. I want to tell people what I went through so they don't have to go through it, hopefully. You know,
Absolutely.
like that's passing down the wisdom. You know, you got knowledge, then you got wisdom. It's a difference. You
Hmm.
know, if you ever read The Alchemist, but you know,
Hmm.
that's the difference. So I would like to it's a big umbrella. Like I have a marketing company. I have my personal training. I have a personal training company. It's just all of me under one umbrella. Whatever innovate, it would be under the brand Jamar 926.
I like that. I like that. I keep saying that's so dope. I can't help it. I said 75 was a good year.
Yeah.
75 was a great year, right?
Yeah.
Great year.
It's right
Yeah,
there. It's not 76, it's not 77. It's right there on that 75. That
that's
made,
right. That's
you know,
right.
yeah.
That's right. And it's so funny as we're talking about numbers and seeing the numbers. I don't know how you know I saw the numbers, but
Mhm,
when I first really began my awakening process,
mhm,
I used to see my birthday all the time, 820. I used to see 820 in the car riding, 820 on on the clock, on the oven,
mhm.
820 at the schools. I was seeing 820 everywhere. And I was like, what is, I thought I was tripping. I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea what
Mhm.
was really going on. So Hey, I love that.
Yeah, those lights, they be popping.
That's dope. Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
flesh and blood. We something else. We definitely energy.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What we always say, we're just spiritual beings
Mhm,
having a human experience.
mhm.
Yep, yep. So that's wow. Okay, I love that. Love it, love it. Oh well, wow. This was really amazing.
Yeah, I
I
enjoyed
knew
it.
I knew it would be. Yes, I enjoy having you, and thank you for telling your story. I needed to hear it, and the whole world needs to hear it. The only way we're going to get through this, we're going to have to stop being ashamed, right? And feeling guilty and embarrassed. It's time to put that up, because it's holding us down like a heavy weight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's time to get out that, leave that shit at the door. It's time. Just be a slug for a little while, right? It's okay, and just
Venture
relax.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's time. It's time. And that's because that's what helps us heal, and we need to heal. I'm a mental health advocate, Jamar, and
Mhm.
especially
Y'all,
I am,
y'all
and
got it.
especially men,
Yeah.
especially for
Y'all got
y'all.
it. Everybody got it.
Right,
Everybody.
right, right. And I'm definitely advocating for men because they try to act like they don't care about y'all, but I do. God, because if you guys heal, when the men heal, then we can come together. You do that inner work. You do your part, your inner work. I do mine. That we can come together. We can finish healing together. You know what I'm saying? Because we need each other. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
We need each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
That's just blasphemy to say anything different.
Yes, we are. So we need to be interdependent.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how we gonna make it out here. So again, I really enjoyed having you. Before we go, okay, so we have you can get connected and stay in touch with Jamar at, let me see, I'm gonna wait till the ticker go by. Was Evolution Minded Publications at gmail.com. That's evolution minded publications at gmail.com. You can email Jamar for more information about his books, about his training. You can't see him. I saw him on another interview he did. And yeah, Jamar he got the muscles. He's got muscles for days. He has put in that work. So yeah, definitely reach out to him. For more information about that. Yes. And Jamar, before we go, what was there anything you'd like to, leave with the audience? A quote, a word of
Just,
advice?
well, just a few things. You can also visit my website, evolutionmindedpublications.com. That's my bookstore. I have a book showing on Saturday the 4th in Rancho Cucamonga at Clutch Gym from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And just word of advice, man. Through life, turn your negatives into positives. Don't let nobody bring you negative energy. If they do, don't respond negative. Respond positive. I don't care what you're going through life. Always give it positive energy. Negative energy is to make you learn. It's not bad. Use it to make you a better person by being positive towards everything. And you'll attract positive energy. That's my life.
All right. That was beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you again, Jamar, for being on Snails with No Shells. We appreciate you. We're definitely going to get this story out. It was beautiful. And it sounds like this is a new beginning. This is a beginning, another beginning for you.
It
And
is. That's
so, yes, and I love that. So I know for sure you'll be back because we're gonna have to catch up on to what you got going on later on. So I know some amazing things are going to be
yeah.
coming up for you. And I will say this: the ladder
Mm.
of my life, and looks like yours too. The ladder is going to be the most amazing part. It's like I wouldn't trade in my past. Like I went through what I went through, but it's like, oh man, the latter end of life is just so awesome. You know what I'm saying? So
That's the
yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I enjoyed this amazing interview. I told you this is going to be an amazing interview. Jamar is very special.
Okay.
Very, very special.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, you're welcome. And again, we
We
will
all
see you
special.
back.
We all special. That's why
Yes,
they
we
put
are.
us together.
We are. We are. But I just want to make sure, just in case you haven't heard it, that you are special and that we do love you.
Well,
All
thank you.
right. And so, yeah, you're welcome. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we go, you know what I always like to say? Remember, just like the sun, you are necessary. I love y'all.
All right.
Peace.
All right.
Just my imagination, or is it just insane?